Welcome back to another episode of the DNC Reviews podcast. I'm Arjun, as you know, and as always, we have Ronan and Seung with us here today. And today we are going to be doing another paid requested review from an underground artist who hit us up. It is LSD in the Hills, the deluxe version by Autumn XO.
Breathe.
It released in 2020, and the deluxe has 9 tracks. The regular version has 8 tracks, 20 minutes, 9 songs. We're gonna listen to a few songs as a group. We already listened to the full project. We just want to isolate a few tracks and give our thoughts on those because we had some mixed opinions. And then we're going to give it a score on our adjusted scale of 5 for these EP or mixtapes. And then, yeah, we're just going to get into it, have a nice little discussion, and then wrap it up at the end. So let's start. So the 3 tracks that we thought were pretty controversial amongst ourselves were Kaleidoscope V3, Almond Milk, and Cherry Trippin', and those just happened to be the first 3 songs on the tape. So we're just going to start with Kaleidoscope V3, go down the list, and give our thoughts. So let's get started with that.
Before we start, he sent me like a little context behind the album, so I'll just read it out to you guys. So to sum up the story to the people that didn't get it, LSD in the Hills is about a boy falling in love with a girl that he imagined on his acid trip. So from track 2 to track 6 is his high. In the middle of the track 6, he realizes that she isn't real. This triggers his calm down, and track 7 and track 8 are his calm down. The bonus track was basically his turn back to reality, which was him being alone.
Oh, so we got a little concept album on our hands.
Yeah. Dude, that like little background info kind of explained a lot to me. Like, can we just talk about first impressions of the album before we get into the songs?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like, for me, when I saw the song, the title LSD in the Hills, I was expecting, crazy sounds, full, like, big trips, as we talked before, the feeling of flying. But a lot of the songs on this track sounded kind of lo-fi and kind of like your average, I would call it like the average lo-fi and like nothing too crazy. But I think that makes sense because in his trip, he tripped about something very common, which is, like falling in love with a girl.
Yeah, my main first impression was, especially with Kaleidoscope V3, I was like, wow, this is really well produced. And as I made my way through the album, like the instrument selection and just how nicely everything worked out, because usually you just have one beat, and some of these artists who don't have like a huge studio just let the beat like ride out for 5 minutes and then just rap over it. But this guy stops it, starts it, like stutters with it, glitches it, adds more instruments on top of it, so you really feel like he is in control of the production, and it makes the project more personal and more cohesive. So I just thought, as a body of work, the concept is really tight. Every track sort of did its job in terms of like painting that picture for me.
Yeah, I think this is like one of the best qualities from like the small artists, in my opinion. Like, I heard this last year when it first hit us up. I was really excited to review it, but then it didn't really work out. But now we're here to review, so yeah.
Yeah, my guy went to the military or something.
I don't know what happened.
Really? Oh, is this the guy?
This is the guy.
Oh, this is the guy?
We've been in contact with Autumn XO for over a year, or maybe, like 7-8 months.
Probably, yeah.
And we just went and ghost, and then now we're back. So the fact that we get to review it here in front of us today may not seem like a big deal to the viewers, but it's a pretty big deal to us because, we've been waiting on this for quite a while. So with all that being said, we're going to start with track 1, Kaleidoscope V3, listen to it, give a few of our thoughts, and make our way through the track list. So let's go. Bro, Ronan, you're a fool if you don't like that.
I don't know.
You're a fool if you don't like that song. You're a fool.
Bro, I don't know. I didn't like the flow.
Oh,
bro, I was vibing so hard. He's like, I got kaleidoscope visions in my mind. I saw kaleidoscope visions in my mind. That's so good.
That's my only issue.
That's so
just the
good.
flow. Just the flow is
Oh
just a
my
little basic
God.
to me. But
Yeah.
other than that, a highlight for me, you know, when he said like breathe,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then the
yeah.
beat just goes off.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Just like it's like the same as a trip. It's like, you know, you taking that inhale breath and then all the colors start coming in. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's very production's amazing.
Yeah. The production is really like rich. Like it feels really like exquisite. Like there's so many like layers, and especially after he says breathe and then goes into that outro. As I said before, he's really in control about what goes into this project. It's not like he just pulled a tight beat off of YouTube. You could tell he definitely had like Ableton or like FL open, and he's like messing with it, which is dope. But the hook is really catchy. I really like it. Like I don't know, like if you go back to when we were listening to that, I was like rapping to myself. I'm like, I got kaleidoscope visions in my mind. Like there's just something about that, especially with the beat. And it's not that long of a song. It's only like 2 minutes at a max.
I think it went well with the theme, like with the song. It's a good introductory song, and yeah, at the end, like the vocals, they were really well layered. I think it's a good start to the album.
True. Like especially for underground artists, the mixing of the vocals is so crucial because they could either sound really really good or just straight trash, and the difference is so huge. Like you could have like this same song, but if it wasn't mixed well, we would probably all call it terrible. Everything worked, everything was layered
Yeah.
properly, and he just did a really great job with that. But yeah, with all that being said, we're gonna move on to track number 2, which is called Almond Milk. All right, so we're gonna do Almond Milk, and then we switched it up. We're not gonna do a Cherry Trippin', even though we heavily disagree on our opinions with that track, but we're gonna do Afterglow after that. So let's do Almond Milk. It's beautiful. Sounds like that outro sounds like it came straight out of Roadrunner, you know? With those layered vocals, all of that. I like the female vocals on the verse. I like how it connects to the story as well. Like he's clearly like infatuated with this girl, right? But he just doesn't know how to react or like what to do or what to say, and he's just so like in awe of her, and he's just, like he's so tempted. And even in the bridge he says like, you're so submissive, I'm so addicted. Like he's really going in for the kill, but he's not even aware that it might not even be real, so he's so heavily invested. So it almost makes you feel bad for him. But I don't know, that outro really just did it for me. Like that really takes the cake. Like if I was ever on the verge about thinking, oh, this song might not be it, like, or this song is trash, like that outro, for an artist who doesn't have that big of a following to pull that off with probably like not like just like standard equipment, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, for me, I'm getting that outro, little summertime vibes, you know, like looking out the window or like autumn. I feel that. But I've been wondering, like, you know how he uses like low voices? Maybe the low voice is like because he feels like time's going slow, so he got the low voice right. But I bet you on a trip, time would go slow, but then it'd go real fast suddenly towards the end.
Yeah, and
Like,
we'll find
so-
out
Good
when
point,
we
good point.
when we listen to Afterglow. Great
Yeah.
segue. But yeah, if we have nothing else left to say for Almond Milk, which I don't think we do, right? We're all good. We're happy with it. Then we are going to skip a ton of tracks in the middle of the project and go straight to the end after this boy comes to a revelation. He's at the end of the hero's journey with his elixir. Yeah, it's Afterglow, and then in parentheses it says Love Me Later, and it's a bonus track to the Deluxe. So let's give it a listen. It's kind of emotional, you know?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what? You know what I noticed?
So
It doesn't conclude the album. Like it's not. It doesn't feel like a rapper. It's like it leaves you on a cliffhanger. In this, it leaves you with that emotion of kind of despair and like loneliness, and then it just goes. It just closes. That's it, dude.
You didn't have to make the noise.
Yeah. Nah, there's some high quality stuff though.
Oh yeah, no, bro, this is like straight out of X's vault, you know? Like this is really really good.
Yeah.
And his implementation of the female vocals in some of these songs is so nice. And their voices blend so nicely together. But just looking at these lyrics, like, "Hey old friend, how has everything been? Do you still have the memories from then?" So it's like after he's finished his trip, he feels like he's disconnected from his former self, or he doesn't even know who he is. Like that's why on the chorus it's just a question of who. And then how do you still have the memories from them, or has time took them from your mind? Those are the last two lines of the whole album. So I think it's just a moment of reflection after the trip and saying like, who am I? Who have I become?
Also think that who, like, that could be talking about the girl. So when he's in his high, he might be staying with this girl the whole time. But then when he wakes up, he tries to like go back to the girl, but then he can't remember who it is. So he's like, damn, where am I? Like, who is she?
Or what if the roles were reversed and then he's trying to talk to her again, or he's trying to get high again so he could see her, but then she doesn't remember him.
Yo,
out of XO. Really going through it. It's really high quality though, like really good stuff, properly mixed, which is such a big deal.
It's up there with some of like professional artists.
Yeah, like Fight Me on This. Fight Me on This is better than Juice WRLD's album that we did.
In terms of aesthetically and like storyline, it's much better. Like I would say, I would give its production quality and the lyrics like similar to Professionals, not above Professionals, but the aesthetic, it's over Professionals. Like this is some good stuff.
The fact that an underground artist could pull off the same quality and make it sound good and make a project that makes sense, like it's not like a playlist or like a compilation of songs, it's very impressive.
You guys have any other opinions about the other songs?
For me, one of my favorite songs in the middle was actually the peak interlude. Even though it was really short, I felt like it was nice to have a little bit of an instrumental break. Like it felt like I was like looking out into the ocean, just chilling on the sand, just vibing. And I know that those thoughts and feelings can be pretty shallow, of just like, oh, I just wanna be calm. I just wanna like be one with the sand, just sink in it. I think that song sort of encapsulated what it's like, especially plus being high at the same time. Definitely something to behold.
A song that stood out for me was LSD in the Hills. Pick me up when I feel down. And I'd like to talk about it. So I think it was just because it sounded a little different to the other songs, so I was like liking it. But now that I think of it, like, you know how artists who've taken those drugs try to recreate those experiences with their music or like the art, and they always say like, I'm trying to recreate it, but it's not fully what it was. It's like in real life it was much crazier. I feel like Autumn XO has taken a different approach to it, and he's like, I don't think I'm able to show you guys what it actually felt like, so I'll just kind of use this lo-fi like a genre / sound that's like familiar to everyone, to kind of convey the same meanings and feelings I felt, instead of trying to replicate the entire experience itself. So that's something I figured out.
It's a perfect blend of two genres, especially considering that there's two main concepts. Not only is this guy high off his ass, but he's also just trying to battle like love, but it's not even like real.
I was able to just like, sometimes when I listen to albums, I kind of need to take a break. I take off my headphones, like kind of process what I just listened to. Right, this just went full journey, and yeah. What was it? Only 20 minutes?
Yeah. Like we're not dealing with like a lobster steak, and we're not dealing with like a chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
But we're dealing with some nice chicken tenders with a little bit of ketchup, you know? Easily digestible.
Okay.
Easily digestible. You could go from track 1 to track 9 in one sitting and walk out a changed man, you know? And even if you're not changed, it's just good music. It's consumable, appetizing music that appeals to the masses. And to be completely honest, I wish that this got more attention and more recognition. If you guys are willing to rate this out of 5, then we can start with Seung.
I'm gonna go straight to the rating. I'm gonna give this a 4.5 out of 5. It's the highest out of all. The productions were nice. The vocalist, they came in with the clutch. The vibe it was giving off was like really relaxing. So yeah, really well done.
Yeah, I just want to echo that. I think that this, I mean, Ronan pretty much said it the best, but there's no like features listed on the track list, but you could tell that there are other people working with him. They all did a really good job of collaborating. The lyrics weren't super strong or deep, but they did their job, meaning that like they took me from point A to point B without me like falling over the edge, right? Or boring me to death, which is great, especially for this type of music, which is more like melodic and moody and emo. Overall, the production quality and the mixing of the vocals is just A1 compared to anything else that we've reviewed within this category. It probably deserves a category of its own. But yeah, I might even rate it a little bit higher. I'm gonna go a 4.75 out of 5.
Damn.
Okay. I'm gonna drop the mic, man. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5.
Come on.
Add a little extra 2.25 on that. But if you're Automexo, if you're listening to this, this is when the hard part comes. I'm giving you a 5 on your, what is it, your debut track. But next you got your sophomore album, your sophomore tracks, you know?
It's true.
Now the sophomore track's gonna be your deciding factor whether you're gonna be like a real artist or not. Like if you want to gain a following, if you want more fans, I think you should stick to your sound, like the easy to listen to sound, because that genre is popular and a lot of people like easy to listen songs that they can put in their playlists and stuff. And also they also like their story, like albums with like stories, they like those, so you could go that way. But I'd also say, you know, try to experiment with, because I noticed you put in like funky, like, you know, interesting, like unique bells and stuff and like different vocals and stuff. So I would just say continue to experiment with the sound and try something that other artists haven't tried before. Honestly, I see a bright future ahead.
I definitely agree that Automexo has the sound that could get hundreds of thousands of streams, you know, easily. If he gets put onto the right playlist and onto the right people will like it, especially with how the music climate is sort of shaping up today with hip hop. He's right in that lane, you know. So yeah, but best of luck to Autumn. This has been another great page requested review from our good friend. It's been a long time coming, so we're really happy that we just had the opportunity to do this. And we will link all of his stuff below. You can go check him out. But yeah, that is it. LSD in the Hills, Deluxe, Automexo, hip hop rap, melodic rap, emo rap, psychedelic rap, trap, 2020. The review is now over. Thank you and goodbye.